Sahana vavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryang karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good afternoon, everyone. So happy to see you here. So happy. When Patty reminded me that Thanksgiving Day is coming up, I tried to think of some chants that would be appropriate for us to chant in the spirit of gratitude. And the first thing that came to my mind was something that I, in fact, did put in the chant book. So for those of you who have this chant book, on page 98, there are 3 verses from the Bhagavad-Gita Chapter 9. Now, I took the liberty of typing it out for you. So if you don't have the book, it's in this handout that I just gave you today. It offers a different translation, but it has the same words. And I apologize, I completely forgot to put on this handout that this is from the Bhagavad Gita. I guess I was just so in my head about this. I thought, okay, how am I going to make this work for gratitude? But there are 3 beautiful verses from chapter 9. And if you have the handout, there's a beautiful book on the Bhagavad Gita. It's so much fun. I mean, the fun part about being stuck at home, not seeing anybody, is that, we get to go through our closets and our bookshelves. And I had forgotten I had this wonderful copy of the Bhagavad Gita, and it's a translation by Barbara Stoller Miller. And she passed away quite some time ago, but I believe she was a professor at Columbia. And I also, if my memory serves me correctly, she was V.S. Houston's professor when he was getting his master's degree at Columbia. So I just thought that would be a nice thing to know. And she calls this chapter 9 the Sublime Mystery. It's also translated as the secret, something about the divine secrets. So since I decided to mention it, I figured we would start in on this before going to the chapter 2. And also, we'll also honor Lord Shiva with the other handout that I gave to you, with Vagartha Viva Sampriktao, Vagartha Pratipattaye. In Vedic chants, I was, when I was looking for something appropriate, I noticed that, one can't help but observe that in Vedic chanting, we're often asking for things as though we're making deals with the gods. We're asking for things. So in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I thought, I was looking for things where we could, chant and bring up a spirit of gratitude in ourselves as we make these chants. So anyway, but as I first mentioned this gratitude and giving chapter, let's go over this. I'll put a different melody on it from what we're doing with chapter 2, just to stir things up and challenge the mind and keep us alert, and maybe to annoy some of you, I don't know. Om patram pushpam phalantoyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyupahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha. So let's see if we can go through the first top line. I'll do it once and then I'll repeat it. Join in when you feel comfortable. Om Patram Pushpam Phalantoyam Yo me bhaktya prayachati. Om Patram Pushpam Phalantoyam Yo me bhaktya prayachati Tadaham bhaktyupahritam Ashnami Ashnami prayatatmanaha Tadaham bhaktyupahritam Ashnami prayatatmanaha. So now, if you want to unmute yourself, kindly let me know if there's anything specific in those two lines that you'd like clarified, or do you think you go ahead, Patty? Yes, thank you.
The Bhaktyapa, that part. Where the hyphen is, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing there.
Bhaktya. Is there a hyphen in your handout? There isn't one in this.
Yes.
I think that
The second line.
wrong line.
Yes. Bhakti.
Oh,
So
yeah.
bhaktyupahritam. It's really two words. Bhakti is the word. Bhakti and then upahritam. Bhakti upahritam. And whenever we have the letter I, which is sounded I, bhakti upahritam. When it's followed by a vowel, the I sound has to change to a ya sound. So that's why there. And I copied out exactly the way Barbara Stoller-Miller did this. So I'm not sure if that could be confusing or not, but she did it this way. She put a hyphen there. Bhakti upahritam. We can go slowly and make it with the I sound. So repeat after me. Tadaham bhakti upahritam. Let's do that 3 times. Tadaham bhakti upahritam. Tadaham bhakti upahritam. Tadaham bhakti upahritam. Now that bhakti has to change to bhaktya. Bhaktyupahritam. So now if you don't like the hyphen, take a pencil if you have one and just either cross out the hyphen. I think the hyphen is just showing us it's 2 different words. Or you can take a pencil and draw an underline loop linking the Y to the U. So it'll sound something like this. Bhaktyupa, bhaktyupa. So do that 3 times. Bhaktyupa, bhaktyupa, bhaktyupa. And are you getting the ka and the ta and the u? Do you think there are enough consonants all thrown together? A nice cluster, a bouquet of consonants, if you like. So that phrase, tadaham bhaktyupahritam. Can you repeat that? Okay, let's go 3 times. Tadaham bhaktyupahritam. Tadaham bhaktyupahritam. Tadaham bhaktyupahritam. Thank you for bringing that out, Patty. Is it coming?
Oh, that's much better. Sometimes I just need that little bit of, I feel like I'm tripping over my own tongue. I just need a little, but it's very helpful. All good now.
Okay. Let's chant those 2 lines and then we'll move on to the next 2. Okay, so just once through. Om Yat Karoshi Yadashnasi Yajjuhoshi Dadasi. I beg your pardon. Sorry, I had a busy day. I chanted that with such conviction and it was a different line. All right, now up, my eye is now on Patram. It's so beautiful. We have Patram Pushpam Phalam, a leaf, a flower, a fruit. Toyam. It's so beautiful. You know, these gifts, these suggestions of these offerings. All right, with the same conviction, the correct line. Om Patram Pushpam Phalantoyam Yo me bhaktya prayachati Tadaham bhaktyupahritam Ashnami prayatatmanaha. The next verse. I'll get rid of the om now. We'll just go right through it. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushvamadarpanam. So 1 line at a time, call and response, or we'll just repeat it. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushvamadarpanam. Yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushvamadarpanam. Do you feel all right to just chant through both lines 3 times? Just see what happens. And if there's a stumbling block, perhaps it'll be solved. Lauren, did you have? Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, what indicates that you, for the end of the first line with yat, and you said yata, what indicates that you echo that sound?
Our teachers, just tradition.
Oh.
And it comes out of a Vedic chant. We're supposed to it's not considered to be an extra syllable, but it's there, I guess, because the desire was to make sure that final consonant was sounded. So we do a little, it's almost like a yata. It shouldn't even, now I might have elongated it too much. It shouldn't even be a beat long. But it should be there. The dasi yata. But then in the next line, yatapasyasi, because it's followed by a consonant.
Okay.
So when it's in the middle of a line, it's treated differently. It's just to make sure that the consonant is there, and we haven't forgotten it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for asking. Okay. Om Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Verse number 28, the third one here. Om Shubha Shubha Phalairevam Mokshyase Karma Bandhanai Sanyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mamupaishyasi. Shubha Shubha Phalairevam Mokshyase Karma Bandhanai. Let's repeat that one. Shubha Shubha Phalairevam Mokshyase Karma Bandhanai Sanyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mamupaishyasi. Sanyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mamupaishyasi. Are you ready to chant that verse 3 times? Elizabeth?
Could you repeat it's at the end of the first long line that Bandhanai.
Yes, I ran out of breath. Karma Bandhanai. Karma Bandhanai. So whenever we encounter an H sound or a Mahaprana sound, we utilize our abdomen to help, and we draw the abdomen back into the spine very quickly. Bandhanai.
And what about the first word of the second line? Do you pronounce the M and the N, or does it all sound like N?
Good question. The M with a dot over it, that first nasal sound, will change to the N because the N is what follows. So it's like a double Sanyasa. That's a tricky word. I don't even know why they spell it that way, but it should be just Sanyasa. Sanyasa. Samnyasa. Samnyasa. It should be a double N with the tongue at the teeth. Yeah.
Leslie, but then if you had an actual double N, would it change to a D?
A D.
Doesn't a double N change to like a D sound? Wait, where did I have that? Isn't that somewhere in the invocation?
Oh, maybe because of what followed?
Yeah, like, because it's, oh yeah, Pandura Brenda Dusandibam. Isn't it like NN and then changed in the invocation?
Oh, no. I was probably misleading you.
Oh, I don't know. This is a note from a long time ago.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Pandura Brendu Sannibham. No, it should be a
okay. I have to erase that then. This is why I use
My
a pencil.
apologies if I misled.
No, I don't. Maybe I just misheard it and I put it there. I don't know what I did. Okay, thank you.
You might have heard a D coming out of my mouth because sometimes the tongue misbehaves. Naughty children, these tongues. Naughty, naughty. Should we chant the third verse 3 times? Okay, here we go. Om Shubha Shubha Palairevam Mokshyase Karma Bandhanaihi Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mamupaishyasi Shubha Shubha Palairevam Mokshyase Karma Bandhanaihi Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mamupaishyasi Shubha Shubha Palairevam Mokshyase Karma Bandhanaihi Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mamupaishyasi. Are you ready to chant all 3 verses? I mean, all 3 verses. And we'll pick up the pace like we just did the last one and see how it feels. Om Patram Pushpam Phalantoyam Yo Me Bhaktya Prayachhati Tadaham Bhaktyupahritam Ashnami Prayatatmanaha Yat Karoshi Yadashnasi Yajjuhoshi Dadasi Yat Yattapasyasi Kaunteya Tatkurushvamadarpanam Shubha Shubha Palairevam Mokshyase Karma Bandhanaihi Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mamupaishyasi. Feels like a dance, doesn't it? Or something. Would someone?
Oh,
No,
Leslie,
go ahead.
I just want to ask you, I think that on the last set of 2 lines, the first line with the Mahapranas there all together, it kind of makes it hard, doesn't it, to have that flow to it?
Yes. So we start slow. And maybe a little bit of something gets sacrificed along the way, but the intention has to always be there. Spoken from an experienced trying and failing chanter here. Would someone kindly read the translation here, or the one from, and someone else can read the one from the booklet if you have it. Let's hear both so we get a nice difference.
I'll read the one on the handout.
Wonderful, thank you.
The leaf or flower or fruit or water that he offers with devotion, I take from the man of self-restraint in response to his devotion. Whatever you do, what you take, what you offer, what you give, what penances you perform, do as an offering to me, Arjuna. You will be freed from the bonds of action, from the fruit of fortune and misfortune, armed with the discipline of renunciation, yourself liberated, you will join me.
Thank you. Can someone read a different translation?
Sorry, I don't have my book right now.
Oh, okay. Well, from the chant book, I copied it out of Eknath Eswaran's, and he says, whatever I am offered in devotion with a pure heart, a leaf, a flower, fruit, or water, I partake of that love offering. Whatever you do, make it an offering to me. The food you eat, the sacrifices you make, the help you give, even your suffering. In this way, you will be freed from the bondage of karma and from its results, both pleasant and painful. Then, firm in renunciation and yoga, with your heart free, you will come to me.
That's a lot easier to understand.
Beg your pardon?
I thought that one was a lot easier to understand.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's why I put it in the chat book. And just because I was able to find my Winthrop Sargent. So Winthrop Sargent says, he who offers to me with devotion and a pure heart, a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, well, that's consistent anyway. That offering of devotion I accept from him. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever you give, whatever austerities you perform, Arjuna, do that as an offering to me. If even the evil, oh, sorry, page there. You shall certainly be liberated from the bonds of action which produce good and evil fruits, liberated with your mind disciplined by the yoga of renunciation. You shall come to me. Now, where is that? Where is that word sannyasa? Okay, that's number 28. Let's see. I'm looking, I'm checking with Sargent. Yes, he has the S-A-M with a dot over it, followed by the N. Samanyasa, and it should be pronounced sannyasa. I'm really glad you brought that up. Renunciation, relinquishment. That's what sannyasa means. Sannyasa. Interesting spelling. Do you have the other handout that I gave, the ones to Lord Shiva? Vagartha. We'll do the first one. I don't have it in front of me, but I think I remember it. Vagartha vivasam priktau Vagartha pratipattaye Jagataha pitarao vande Parvati Parameshvarao Vagartha vivasam priktau Vagartha pratipattaye Jagataha pitarao vande Parvati Parameshvarao Vagartha vivasam priktau Vagartha pratipattaye Jagatah pitarao vande Parvati Parameshvarau. Parvati Parameshvarau. We could just as easily begin every chant session with that, through the celebration of word and meaning, sound and meaning, the unification of thereof. Well, since we've got the handout handy and time is ticking away, I was going to save the next one for last, but let's just do it now. It's already 4:36. Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Sansarasaram Bhujagendraharam Sadavasantam Hridayaravinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Sansarasaram Bhujagendraharam Sadavasantam Hridayaravinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. If there's time at the end, we could come back to that. Let's go to our chapter 2 of the Bhagavad-Gita. And actually, yeah, let's go. Unless you have any pressing questions or observances of what we just chanted. But again, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, we could chant these chants with this feeling of gratitude for these forces that we could probably personalize, these divine forces. But the unification of word and meaning is just so lovely to me. So we got to, who remembers exactly which verse we got to? Normally I try to review them, especially the day before, but I did not get a chance to do that. So did we get past 55?
I thought we got to through 53.
Ah, yes, you're right. We didn't get to the end of that column. Thank you. So let's start at 53. Om Shruti Vipratipannate Yadastasyati Nischala Samadhavachala Buddhis Tada Yogamavapsyasi. Shruti Vipratipannate Yadastasyati Nischala Samadhavachala Buddhis Tada Yogamavapsyasi. Yes, we did that. And again, just to remind myself, as well as to remind all of you, that third line ending, buddhi, that originally is a word ending not with the S, but with the H with a dot under it. So if you choose to take a breath there, it would sound like this. Samadha vachala buddhi, breath. Tada yogam avapsyasi. The rule of Sandhi tells us that if we're not going to take a breath after buddhi, then the visarga, ihi, changes to is, because sa is a dental sound and the following letter is a dental sound, the ta in tada. Buddhis tada. Everyone repeat after me. Buddhis tada. Buddhis tada. Let's do that, those last two lines together. We'll pick up the pace so that we can get through the whole two lines in one breath, okay, with a s sound. Samadha vachala buddhis tada yogam avapsyasi. So we did do that last week, didn't we? Sounds familiar. Verse 34, Arjuna Uvachas. He speaks. Arjuna is speaking. Arjuna Uvacha. Repeat after me. Arjuna Uvacha. And then I'll chant the first two lines and I'll repeat the first two lines and join in. So I'm going to see if we're ready to take it a little faster. We were going slowly before, but now that you've got the rhythm of things, you might be picking up this faster. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhishtasya keshava. I made a mistake and corrected myself. So there's a samadhistasya. So all of the sibilants in that long word there are dental, sa, sa, sa. So again, sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava. Then moving on. Sthita dihi kim prabhas. Sthita dihi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. What a fantastic verse for practicing our sibilant sounds. I'll repeat the last two lines. Sthita dhihi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. Are you ready to put the whole thing together slowly? Are we thumbs up? Okay. Shout out if you need any assistance or if you need to complain. Okay, here we go. Twice through. Arjuna uvacha sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthita dhihi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. Again. Arjuna uvacha sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthita dhihi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. Shall we move on to 55? Okay, 55. And now Sri Bhagavan, the deity who possesses all attributes, or the blessed Lord, spoke. He answers, Shri Bhagavan uvacha prajahati yadda kaman sarvan parthamanogatam atman yevatmana tushtaha sthita prajnastadochyate. Shri Bhagavan uvacha prajahati yadda kaman sarvan parthamanogatam atman yevatmana tushtaha sthita prajnastadochyate. Any observations, questions, comments, expressions of delight, expressions of pain? Let's move on to 56. The Blessed Lord is still speaking. Dukheshvanudvignamanaha Sukheshu vigatasprahaha Vitaraga bhayakrodhaha Sthitadhir muniruchyate. My goodness, just when we were beginning to get the hang of it. Dukheshvanudvignamanaha. We're going to repeat that line again. Dukheshvanudvignamanaha Sukheshu vigatasprahaha. Let's repeat that one. Sukheshu vigatasprahaha. Third line. Vitaraga bhayakrodhaha Sthitadhir muniruchyate. Vitaraga bhayakrodhaha Sthitadhir muniruchyate. Do you have anything to say before we just go through this twice through?
Yes, could we go over that first line again a little bit?
I had a feeling someone might want to. Dukkha, dukkesha, dukkeshu. Dukkeshu means in all in the sorrows. And that dukkeshu, the u changes to a v because of the that follows. So originally it's dukkeshu anut vignamanaha. But anut changes to anud because of the soft consonant following, and dukkeshu changes to dukkeshv anud. Dukkeshvanud dvignamanaha. Compound consonants there. Dukkeshvanud dvignamanaha. Let's do that twice through. Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha. Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha. Okay, so now let's chant through the whole thing unless somebody else speaks up, and speak out anytime, anyone. Just remember to unmute yourself. Om Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha Sukheshu spruhaha vitaraga bhaya krodha sthita dhir muniruchyate dukheshvanudvignamanaha sukheshu vigata spruhaha vitaraga bhaya krodha sthita dhir muniruchyate. Shall we do the next one? Yasarvatra nabhisnehas tat tat prapya shubha shubham nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratishtita. So yaha changes to yas before the sarva. Yasarvatra nabhisnehas tat tat. Now I'm going to stop myself. I think again, snehas, keep it the sa if we're going to do the whole two lines in one breath. But if we need to take a breath, then it's snehaha. So it could also be yasarvatra nabhisnehaha, breath, tat tat prapya shubha shubham. Let's move to the third and fourth lines. Nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratishtita. Nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratishtita. So let's do that twice through the whole 4 lines. Om Yasarvatra nabhisnehas tat tat prapya shubha shubham nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratishtita. Yasarvatra nabhisnehas tat tat prapya shubha shubham nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratishtita. Verse 58. Om Yada Sanharate Chayam Kurmongani Vasarvashaha Indriyani Indriyarthebhyas Tasya Prajna Pratishtita. Again, at the end of the third line, if we do that all in one breath, arthebhyas tasya prajna, then you could take a breath after prajna if you need to, because it has a long vowel. Let's just do all 4 lines and see how we do. We'll just do that twice through. Om Yada Sanharate Chayam Kurmongani Vasarvashaha Indriyani Indriyarthebhyas Tasya Prajna Pratishtita. Yada Sangharate Chayam Kurmongani Vasarvashaha Indriyanindriyarthebhyas Tasya Prajna Pratishtita. I cheated. I took a breath after Artebhyas. I breathed in through the corners of my mouth, but I think no heaven will fall down. Shall we do one final verse to just finish off the column, and then we'll get to read through a translation so we know what on earth we were chanting. So we've got the sound and the word, and then we want the meaning. Om Vishaya Vinivartante Niraharasya Dehinaha Rasa Varjan Rasopyasya Parandrishtva Nivartate. Interesting, the last two lines. In the third line, Virama Varjam Raso changes to the of Varjam, changes to the The tip of the tongue has to move to the center of the cerebral palate, so that it merges with the ra after. Varjan Raso. Varjan Raso. And then in the fourth line, paran, that should be at the teeth. The tongue goes to the teeth because of the following D, the da sound, dental. Parandrishtva, parandrishtva. Okay, here we go. Let's chant through that verse twice. Om Vishaya Vinivartante Niraharasya Dehinaha Rasa Varjan Rasopyasya Parandrishtva Nivartate Vishaya Vinivartante Niraharasya Dehinaha Rasa Varjan Rasopyasya Parandrishtva Nivartate. I messed up, sorry. Would you like to repeat anything that we covered, chanting first, before we go to the translation? Does anyone else have the Bhagavad-Gita in front of them?
I have one.
Oh, thank you, Andy. Good. Yeah, I have the same edition.
So which sloka did we start with?
So let's see. I think 54, right? Or actually, go back to 53.
53. When your intellect stands fixed in deep meditation, unmoving, disregarding Vedic doctrine, then you shall attain self-realization. Arjuna spoke, how does one describe him who is of steady wisdom, who is steadfast in deep meditation, Krishna? How does he who is steady in wisdom speak? How does he sit? How does he move? The blessed Lord spoke. When he leaves behind all desires emerging from the mind, Arjuna, and he is contented in the self by the self, then he is said to be one whose wisdom is steady. He whose mind is not agitated in misfortune, whose desire for pleasures has disappeared, whose passion, fear, and anger have departed, and whose meditation is steady is said to be a sage. He who is without attachment on all sides, encountering this or that, pleasant or unpleasant, neither rejoicing nor disliking, his wisdom stands firm. And when he withdraws completely the senses from the objects of his senses, as a tortoise withdraws its limbs into its shell, his wisdom stands firm. Sense objects turn away from the abstinent man, but the taste for them remains, but the taste also turns away from him who has seen the Supreme.
Oh, great. Thank you. And then, so I have Graham Schweig's. So starting with 53. When this discernment is no longer perplexed by the heard scriptures, when it shall remain without change, when discernment is unchanging within perfect meditation, then you shall attain yoga. And then Arjuna said, what is the description of one established in profound knowledge, who is established in perfect meditation, O Keshava? How would one established in thought speak? How would one sit? How would one move about? The beloved Lord said, when a person gives up all selfish desires arising from the mind, O Partha, satisfied within the self by the self alone, then that person is said to be established in profound knowledge. One whose mind is undisturbed in suffering, who is free from desire in all kinds of happiness, whose passion, fear, and anger have departed, such a person established in thought is said to be a sage. One who everywhere is without sentimentality upon encountering this or that, things pleasant or unpleasant, who neither rejoices nor despises, the profound knowledge of such a person is firmly established. And when one withdraws completely as a tortoise, all of its limbs, the senses from their sense objects, the profound knowledge of such a person is firmly established. Sense objects fade away for the embodied who does not partake of them, except for the taste, for one who has seen the Supreme. Even this taste fades. Kurmo, as in Kurmasana, the tortoise. Sometimes when we practice Kurmasana, this verse 58 can come to mind. Indriyan indriyartebhyaha. Let's go back to Karpura Gauram before we end. Om Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Sansarasaram Bhujagendraharam Sadavasantam Hridayaravindeya Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Sansarasaram Bhujagendraharam Sadavasantam Hridayaravindeya Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Sansarasaram Bhujagendraharam Sadavasantam Hridayaravinде Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Now our ending invocations should be on the handout, invocations. Yadaksharapadabrashtam matrahinantu yadbhavet tatsarvam kshamyatam deva Narayana namostute Shrimate Narayanaya namo namaha Kayena vacha manasendriyairva buddhyatmana va Prakrite svabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayana yeti samarpayami sarvam shri krishnarpanamastu. If there's anything you would like to ask, any request, anything you'd like to share, you're welcome to, but I think officially we're ready for dinner. Something. I want you all to have, I want you all to have a very happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Happy
Leslie.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Giving everyone.
Thanksgiving.
Happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Patty.
To you all, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, there's Winnie. Hello. Namaste, Winnie G. Priya, Winnie G. Yeah. Winnie, you are inspiring me to brush up on my Sanskrit so I can speak to you in Sanskrit all the time. Oh, wow. How are things going, Sandra? Things going okay?
She's asking this.
Good. Well, I'm glad they're going okay for you. I know they're going okay with you, Winnie. You liking school, huh?
Do you want to show her the thing you made today? The
I'd
little
love to see it.
thing that you made?
And while we're waiting, Sandra, how are things going? How's Jack doing?
She looks frozen. I don't know.
Oh, it's frozen. Okay. So she might not even be there. Oh, once again, let's see.
Go ahead, show her. You want to show her how the top comes off?
Oh my gosh. Did you make that?
Yeah, it's out of beeswax. They make these little tiny sculptures of beeswax. It's the cutest.
Yeah, how beautiful. How beautiful. Is there room inside to put anything?
Yeah, she has little tiny things inside.
Yay.
Has a little top. She has a little basket she made that has little sunflower seeds in it.
Potter, yes, ready for the potter's wheel.
It's out of beeswax.
Really? That's so pretty.
It was in the car. Did you bring it inside?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm sure we'll find it.
It's out of beeswax.
Oh, wait, there it is. Okay,
Then
here's the
this is
lantern.
my lantern.
Oh, beautiful. Yes.
And then I'm just gonna find.
Bravo, Steiner. Yay.
Thing.
So great.
The first time she brought this little thing home, I was like in tears, like, oh my God, this is so cute. It's like the sweetest little thing. All tiny. What are you doing now? I thought you were getting the other thing.
Yeah,
No?
I'm getting the
Oh, she made one other thing she wants to show you. I know you had a long day.
It's all right. I had a wonderful yoga class, and then I have this ukulele lessons that I take an hour before this, and we were done 1 hour before.
Yeah.
And,
Then this is my basket.
oh, how beautiful! Yes. What's the handle made of?
Stick.
Sick? What's sick?
It's a little stick.
Oh, it's a stick.
Yeah.
It.
It has little sunflower seeds in it. Little tiny sun. It's like so cute.
Yeah, nature will never be viewed the same.
No.
I hope if
Oh,
we
that is
get any
precious.
more, I think we're gonna make some more.
Yeah, maybe
We're gonna make
all of that goes on the dining table for Thanksgiving too. That's
right. She made a beautiful lantern too with like punching the holes and making, isn't it on the table already in the dining room for Thanksgiving? One more show and tell, Leslie. Bear with us.
Okay, great.
He was trying to bust in the middle of class, so I was like, come back later. Okay, so here's her lantern. So imagine when it has like holes punched in it. So when you put the light,
and also
and you'll see
hold
the
on,
stars. I love that.
candle inside.
Oh, how beautiful. Oh, yes.
So I actually have 4 things that are made.
so many nice things.
It's like your Advent bag. You'll put it out. You'll light it every evening.
We're gonna put a centerpiece for Thanksgiving right there.
Yeah.
So here we are. But I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving.
Well, thank you, and the same to all of you. Just be well and safe. And thank you for your feedback and thoughts on how to proceed, and so we'll talk about taking breaks. Yeah.
Okay, great. But well, go relax. We'll catch up again.
Yeah, we will. Yes, I think my brain is gone.
Yeah, I know. I saw my class tonight. Luckily, it's going to be short for the
Yeah.
holiday.
Oh, good. Oh, enjoy. Oh, you have to teach.
No, I'm not teaching. I'm taking my class, my academic writing class for grad school. It doesn't start till 9 o'clock. It's like I'm usually asleep by then, but it's all right. It's good.
Did the stuff we chatted today, did it seem to make sense to be Thanksgiving?
Those verses were hard from the Bhagavad-Gita. The one that from chapter 2.
Yeah.
By the time we got to the last one, I was like, oh, phew, I thought it was just me. Finally, I feel like I can say something again because.
And chapter 2 has the longest number of verses. I don't know if any other chapter has so many, 72 verses.
More fun.
But what's coming up is so great. I love what's coming up because he's going to talk about how, for the person who is, we have to be able to not be owned by our desires, because what happens? And then there's this, it's kind of like an avalanche, a snowballing effect of when you have the desires and then you can't get what you want, then anger sets in. And then when anger sets in, you get delusional. And when and then each person, it's wonderful. It's just like, it's all downhill. And that's coming up. And then
that's gonna be how it'll feel when I chant it too.
Yeah.
That's how I felt today. I was just like, oh, things were coming, like some things come so easily because I'm used to making those sounds, but like a lot of the things today were different from what I'm used to. It's like, okay, focus.
Yeah, I didn't break it down so much, but I think everybody's ready to just trot along.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Namaste.
Namaste.
We'll be in touch soon.
Be well.
Thank you so much, Patty. Thank you.
Yeah. Take care. Happy Thanksgiving.
I'm grateful to have you in my life. So
am I. Oh my, the same. Oh, and when you want to say goodbye one more time.
Okay.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, dear Winnie, and happy Thanksgiving to you.
We're gonna eat lots of pie.
Yummy.
All right, bye.
Bye.